Well, the Nexon Arena is sold out, as I said before, but I feel like the SKT cheer is about 2 or 3 times louder than BBQ. But it would be nice to see BBQ take a 2-0 victory and then crush relegations and come back for 218.
Hey, wait a minute. You're flip-flopping this. You started things off saying you wanted to see an SKT 2-0. Now you want to see BBQ 2-0ing?
I didn't say I wanted SKT to win. I said I expected them to take a 2-0 victory, which I feel like is a very fair prediction coming into this match. It would be pretty rare to, you know, go through the Twitch chat and see that one guy who's like, oh, BBQ's going to 2-0 SKT.
Yeah, that's true. Did you notice something odd about Kog'Maw, though? He's actually half caterpillar, half butterfly. Butterflies don't have that kind of abdomen, so...
It's a thick butterfly, man.
His body is literally still caterpillar, but wings have come out.
Why do you got to shame the Kog'Maw, man? He's working on it. So he's a little bit thick, you know. It takes a little bit of time. He's getting to it. You can tell he's definitely working on his style. He's brought in the gold tips for his antennae here. Curious to see what this Ghost Totoro lane can do in the bottom side as Kog'Maw Taric. Oh, that's not the Cowbell skin, is it? Or is that a chroma for the Cowbell skin?
I think it's a chroma, yeah.
Okay,
I think he has
I was confused. I was like, what?
Well, both junglers route will finish top side of the map, so we don't get to see what the minion waves are doing up top, but it appears that Untares will be bouncing back, so no action into the top side of the map. And if the laners can communicate this, then it's not a need for any action to happen, just because they know that the possibility of a gank is just not there. Faker gets to go for the ward, and because the wave bounces back, if you communicate this effectively, you can buy precious seconds for your jungler to continue to farm, to ignore any opportunities in other sides of the map, and move on and potentially get an advantage. Instead, they will go for what appears to be an invade onto Peanut, though. There's no way this is a dive.
Yeah, you can see Untari, he's got everything. And Bless, he's just setting it up. Peanut doesn't look like he's going for this. Okay, never mind. He takes a blasting plant, so bit of a fight going on. 2v2 up in the top lane. And that red buff ticking on Peanut. You can see that range for Bless is really helping out, and Peanut will have to back off as Bless does take away the farm.
But the beauty of the timing is what matters in this invade. The minions were crashing on the wave. Untara can't collapse. The wave is so fat that if he were to go back, he would lose out on a precious amount of CS. So he has to stay under the tower. Jace gets a collapse, and while it appears to be some minor scrapping, is completely in the favor of BBQ, and they understand that once again they have to put pressure in these lanes. They have advantageous lanes early on, so they have to make the most out of it, especially through Crazy's lane, which was a champion that was banned in Game 1 by SKT.
You can see Faker losing some of those early trades up against Temp's Syndra. And you will notice he has taken the cleanse, so he's a lot more worried about the Elise and will not have that exhaust. So no doubt we will be seeing Hex Drinker come out.
Oh, if you take exhaust in this lane, you are fodder, because you're not going to be able to dodge out of Syndra every single time. And if Elise is there, stun into Cocoon or Cocoon into stun is a recipe for death that is guaranteed to never be stale. So the cleanse makes sense, but the Hex Drinker will be the first purchase, not that Blade of the Ruin King that so often we see out of mid lane Lucian in easier matchups.
Lots of deep vision for the side of SKT to start. You could see Peanut spent a significant amount of time not even farming, just getting, you know, wards down to spot Bless and see exactly where this Elise is from the side. Even Untara coming down and putting a deep ward on the blue side jungle of Bless as well.
It's so interesting seeing SKT's evolution of these major carries. Both Peanut and Huni relied on having multiple resources on their previous teams, and now when they're on SKT, you got Peanut already subjected to a year of SKT having to just farm and ward, not being the major carry that we know him for. Same with Huni previously on Immortals, just having such an ridiculous amount of stats and farm under his belt that now he's not even played as a starter. But wait a minute, I don't think much will happen here.
Got the dive coming on in, and that blow up on here. The exhaust is going to come down, and you can see that the heal coming out of Tark though, and they're looking to turn this actually. Doesn't look like it will happen. Peanut, meanwhile, did visit into mid lane. Temp did not blow any of his summoners to get out of that gank.
Just some mana to get out of that sticky situation, but as I was saying, the members of SKT just haven't been that used to being exhausted of resources or having to change their playstyle so drastically, something that they have been glued to, both Huni and Fnatic before, Immortals, then you have Peanut on Rocks Tigers for so long, then on Najin previously where he was still kind of played as a carry. I still remember, I believe it was his debut game where he was playing against Faker, he was Rengar, and was just doing so much work, but as a teammate, as understanding Ward, that just wasn't his case. This guy was the Red Smite jungler, and now Rek'Sai first item trackers. How the mighty have fallen.
How the aggressive have taken a back seat when it comes to helping out their team. Definitely is a sad world we live in for guys like Peanut. This undefeated Lee Sin, I think it went 11-0 before it fell, perhaps even more. And then he had to give it up.
Well, it just wasn't that meta anyways after a while.
Yeah, he was still playing it a little bit when it was even falling out and pretty much no one else was playing it, maybe a couple of other guys. Malrong was giving it a shot every once in a while.
As long as immobile hyper carries are meta, Lee Sin will be meta. You can always find a way to kick somebody into the team, but the skill cap just becomes way too high with so many tanks that now offer interrupting abilities to just make Lee Sin's day a nightmare.
Had a bit of slowing down from the early aggression that we saw, specifically out of the Elise, making her way up into the top lane and, you know, putting a bit of pressure on. But Untara did a good job of avoiding all of the ganks, even without a ward, just with the help of his team's overall warding, making sure that he did not get caught out. Still no first blood here at 8 minutes. Not quite the, what was it, 26-minute first blood that we had in Afrika versus Jin Air?
I think it was 29, actually.
29?
Bordering on 30 minutes, right at the cusp of it.
That was ridiculous. I was tuning into that game. Wasn't the most fun game I've ever watched.
I actually fell asleep. Yeah, not gonna lie, I actually snoozed off in that one. Woke up at the 29-minute mark on the monitor screaming first blood. I was like, oh, what did I miss? Oh. Really?
Absolutely nothing.
Right now? Okay. But yeah, the aggression did falter for BBQ as they were invading and defending the bottom side of the map. Their biggest pressure point is in the top side anyway, so as long as they continue to go top, they can take advantage of Untara's passivity and find advantages there, as they just did right now with that red buff. And fortunately for them, there is nothing that SKT can take in the bottom side, as there is only a Cloud Dragon right now, and that's what Peanut is going to try to trade off right now, hopefully shooting for an Infernal or a Mountain Dragon right after this one.
See if they can get as lucky as BBQ did in game number 1. Started off with Cloud Drake, went into double Infernal as they were in control. Lots of pings going down. You can see Tempt is rotating over, Peanut getting low, as well as this Cloud Drake is getting low, looking to interrupt this and deny it. There's Wolf getting pretty low as well, forced to burn his ult, the flash in, looking for Peanut, it's not enough damage. That will be that flash coming off of Tempt. They're still looking for first blood. They're going to slow down the cow, and there it is, first blood going over to Tempt in that Dragon trade.
The exhaust kept Peanut alive, but Wolf was the sacrificial cow for that one. And that's just not worth it. You gave first blood to Syndra, who now will have a much easier time laning against Faker. Not that she was having a rough time anyways. Wolf gets to burn some of his summoners, making bottom lane that much harder. And all for what? A mere Cloud Dragon that bounces back with another one. So the trade that SKT go for as a result of the pressure that BBQ look for is going to be not in their favor. And BBQ get a happy first blood and is now sitting at 1,500 gold up at 10:30.
Yeah. Something that has been pretty common that we've said on this broadcast is that sometimes the dragons don't really matter all that much, and especially an early Cloud Dragon like this, when you're giving over so much gold to the side of BBQ. Is this really worth it? You keep Peanut alive, but then Wolf goes down, and all you have to show for it is that Cloud Drake. And Tempt, he was the MVP in game number 1. He has 400 MVP points. I think he's the biggest MVP by far on the side of BBQ. You're giving their biggest carry, First Blood, on a Syndra.
It's the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals ever.
Well, no Tilly in this game, at least. The wall's going to be put up, and you can see that they're looking for a gank onto Tempt, but immediately it's spotted out by Bless and Totoro roaming together. They know that the flash is down on Tempt, and they're looking to strike back, but easily sniffed out by the side of BBQ.
They're playing defensively. They understand what SKT's trying to go for. SKT needs to be a little more assertive compared to last time around, so it's no surprise that they're trying to sniff it out, as you say, making sure that they can stop any attempt that SKT go for onto their precious mid laner, because Tempt dies. Wait a minute.
Tempt's almost baiting this in, eating a ton of damage, but look at all of these members coming in, even Nuntara making his way down. But again, the combination of Totoro and Bless is here. Can they save this turret damage and the lives of their teammates? Looks like they will, as they clean up that wave with the wave clear of Syndra. Now it looks like Ghost is in a bit of trouble, as here comes Peanut. Ghost is going to back off, though, show respect. This will mean that SKT should be able to take down this first turret, though.
And this is a different SKT from what we saw in Game 1, and this is what we wanted to see out of them. Proactivity where they are strong. They are not strong on the top side of the map.
The bottom turret doesn't go down, and the top one is extremely low. Crazy, he's pushing it in. He's trying to get this one. Untara is doing his best, trying to get it down. The ultimate from Rumble is still available. We'll see if he can deny it. It looks like he can for now. But BBQ as a team has denied that bottom tier 1 at the same time.
You're right. That could be a big advantage for BBQ to take it. So that means that the bottom lane needs to stay here as long as possible until Crazy can get this tower. We might see some mid laners roaming to top to enable Crazy to get that tower or to defend it. But overall, we got everybody confined to the lanes to push for these first bricks.
Yeah, and I think overall this should favor BBQ as long as they stabilize bottom side. And if Crazy can continue the pressure that he's putting up in the top lane, because there really hasn't been too much jungle interference outside of the couple of roams that Blessed it up there, but no ganks, no kills. It's 0-0-0 for both top laners, but already Crazy is 46 CS ahead. And having a fantastic start so far on this Jace, almost taking out the first blood turret.
You leave Jace alone, he'll win any 1v1. Khan said it, multiple other top laners agree with it. Jace has become a priority pick, so it makes sense that the team leaves him alone and allows him to thrive in that environment. And back to the early game where BBQ's advantages lied in the top side of the map. That's how they got the red buff invade early on. The blue, or rather the Krugs invade. And SKT in the bottom side of the map with the Lucian pushing onto the mid lane and Alistar and Rek'Sai. So split map results in split attempts at first bricks, and BBQ walk away with theirs first as Bless, as expected, has to linger into the bottom side. Wait a minute.
Crazy though, he's getting 1v2'd. He's trying to trade it back onto Untara, but it will not happen. Feeds over a kill to Untara, who was needing it so badly as he is very far behind in the top side.
He finally gets that, and just how in Game 1 that first brick does not go down for free. SKT will want to answer with a kill in return, but overall this does favor BBQ heavily. We now get to see what Crazy gets to do if he pushes into the tier 2. That's a bigger avenue to rotate to the mid lane tower. And now that Ghost is scaling so heavily and his Blade of the Rune King is about to finish, we've got ourselves a real threat on our hands when it comes to this Kog'Maw.
Peanut, he flashes, but he doesn't make it over the wall. This is a 1v1 that Peanut cannot win. The knockup, Bless still on the chase. That red buff is ticking. There it is. The Q comes in and he takes that down. Now Bless flashing. Untara trying to come in, but he's overloaded. The repel comes down to the Q and the double kill. Bless taking out the top and the jungle. Now Faker out of position. He's going to get a leash power. There's 3. What is happening? SKT falling apart and Bless making them look silly.
I don't know, man. That looks like trolling to me. What are they doing? That was rancid. What happened? Why would you even do any of that? Made no sense whatsoever. Oh, God. So Peanut had no tunnel. That's how it starts. So he tunnels in right away, thinking that he's going to be safe. And the blast cone's like, okay, he's in trouble, doesn't flash over the wall. You can't fight the Elise once she gets to jump on you. And it's very smart for Bless to not use his repel right now. And then Untara blind flashes in, overheats immediately. And then Bless is like, oh, I can just repel down and kill you too? So, well, thanks, guys.
Faker's coming in. He's like, maybe I can pick up the kill. This is looking like solo queue.
Third time's the charm.
That's when your mid laner, that was like Cuz against KT in game 1, where he's like, oh, I guess I'll join and die too and give them a 4th kill. It's like, no, what? Just back off. Just don't feed him another one.
That was so bad. Wow, individually, like, oh, there was.
And again, I mean, this is pretty gigantic for SKT. They're getting destroyed by BBQ. They're looking to get 2-0'd right now.
They're getting destroyed by sticking their fingers in the socket. That's basically what it is. It's like, oh, is there danger here? Oh, and then they pay.
Well, they're paying dearly so far with their lives, giving gold to Crazy. At least Bang in the bottom side while he's typing in chat, please report my jungler. And it takes out the bottom tier 1. And here we go again. This time Bless in a lot more trouble, though, as it is 1v4. The Taric over the wall to save him, though. They're looking to turn. Here comes Tempt, looking for Faker. It does get the double stun, but flashes in. The exhaust comes in. There's that unleashed power, but a really nice equalizer. Trying to tick down Tempt, and he will get him in the end. So a nice turnaround by Untara, who is there to lay down the equalizer.
Get your vuvuzelas out, because we're in a fiesta. Why did Tempt flash in? That'll be the mystery that will go as unsolved as the disappearances of the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, and hold that thought. Now they're looking for more. Totoro almost gets caught out, but it might be Wolf that's caught out himself, getting extremely low. Bless is on the chase, the repel in. He's got a Q. One more auto attack should do it. There it is. So able to trade it back, and here comes Crazy, the flash over the wall. He is one fed chase, and he's going to pick up one more kill. So 2-1. In total, in favor of BBQ.
This game is just taking a turn for the bizarre, and it does not fail to deliver us. Now a second Mountain Dragon goes over to BBQ, but an invade that was questionable at first turns out into more question marks from everybody. But once again, BBQ walk away with the advantage. They're pushing for that tier 1 to the bottom side, and SKT only have 1 kill to show for all this.
Look at Crazy right now. He is Duskblade and a Black Cleaver. He has 2 kills in total. He got the first Blood Turret gold as well. So when he came in, it was lights out.
So this starts pretty well from BBQ with Totoro flashing. So he's being a hero. He's being a real bro right here. But what is Tempt doing here? He flashed into the Alistar that's about to proc his stun, which just primes him to get roasted. And now we're thinking, okay, this is going to be the end of it. We might not see all of it, though. Be warned. Turn on your subscriptions on as Peanut. Okay, see, this is where it all starts. There is such a big lack of communication in SKT where you have Peanut and Untara doing the dragon, but immediately a call to engage happens with no follow-up. I'm sorry, but this is not a game that SKT by any means is saying that they're trolling or anything. This just looks like plain a miscommunication that has been plaguing them ever since the losing streak began, and quite evidently still is there.
You got 2 members mid pushing for tier 1. You got 2 guys starting dragon. You got Wolf engaging with a half-hearted attempt to follow up from Peanut, who wasn't even in range for a knockup. Sloppy League of Legends. It's not SKT League of Legends, the SKT that we once knew and loved. And Peanut, he has figured out the Illuminati triangle, dodges the stuns in dire straits, makes it out alive.
Oh, boy. He would have died right there had he got hit by that.
He's figured it out, man. Spend enough time on SKT, they'll teach you the secrets of the world. Though apparently not the secrets of League of Legends. At least not this season.
They're still in 4th place. They're shooting for playoffs, but could it be the point that they don't come into this matchup as favorites? I think that after this performance,
I think so, yeah.
I don't think SKT could, legacy-wise, you would call them favorites, but it's either an even matchup, which I think would be what the overall consensus would be between them and Afrika, as Afrika also has had their inconsistent woes. But with the recent performances that this team has had, it seems like they're just built to beat KT and KT only with ease.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup going into that wild card. You know, Afrika having a history of defeating SKT, but Afrika also having a history of losing 0-2 in playoffs coming on in. So having, you know, losing like that to MVP in spring and looking for more. So it's about which curse is going to be stopped going into that one.
What a fantastic storyline that would be, though. That, you know, I'm not an anime guy myself, but I have dabbled. And the best stories are the ones that involve tournament matches that matter, be it fighting, be it whatever games possible. And this just seems too good to be true, where you have a team that was at the top of the world for so long that has been slumping, and what will triumph, them or a team that is inconsistent? And to top things off, have members from SKT, from previous SKT iterations on them, and have always lost the playoffs, so too.
It's going to be an exciting one, no doubt. After this game, we'll see if SKT loses to BBQ first, because even though BBQ is in the lead, we are talking about the now secured 9th place team from LCK for Summer. So they've had inconsistencies of their own. See if they can close this game out.
They're in the driver's seat, but by no means has it escaped SKT's hands with double AD carry, tank, engage, and magic damage. They have tools to win team fights. Their itemization can be devastating in the late game with infinity edges all around, so they're far from being knocked out of this one. But they have an uphill battle to climb, as they will be facing a late game Kog'Maw.
A late game Kog'Maw with the support of a Taric, who can keep them alive for quite a long time. Doesn't have that tanky front line, but they have lots of threats. A 3-0-2 Elise, who's actually building very tanky so far, did go for the Frozen Heart, funnily enough. Lots of cooldown reduction, but also some nice tankiness to add in there. Identifying that he has to be the tanky guy on his team.
It's a great adaptation, really, for him to be taking items that will help dwindle SKT's main sources of DPS. I expect him to go full on the tank basket. That Ruby Crystal might turn into an Abyssal Mask, or rather the Helm of
Magical Death.
The one that reduces damage.
The Knight's Vow?
No. Actually, yeah, it could just be a nice bow. I'll just retreat. I'll take the statement. I don't know
you
how
just retreat.
I seriously just keep forgetting the name of, like, that item single-handedly. I always forget the name of it.
It was Abyssal
Adaptive
Helm.
No, it's the adaptive.
Oh, that's
yes,
yeah. Okay.
Adaptive. Because
That
it starts
one.
with.
Okay.
It doesn't. Yeah.
All right, you can stop retreating. You've made it back into our hearts. Could see a Haunting Geist come out too if she wants to stray away from that tanky line. A very common item for Elise's in most games is that Leandry's. But either way, here we go. We're going for this dragon. It is an important one. It is the Mountain Drake. So 5 members of BBQ already doing a nice bit of poking damage onto Bang, but he is life-stealing it back. Faker attempting to do a bit of poking himself with the culling. But there's that shock blast from Crazy and the poke from Tempt. Tempt is getting a bit low on mana. You can see that BBQ is still respecting this. Taking it very slow. Trying to burst this one down. Who will get it? In the end, it's actually Untara who takes it out as the Rumble. not even using his equalizer, but oh, the flash into 3. Equalizer coming down, but will the Tark ultimate turn it? It will be able to get 3 members of BBQ, but they're still on the run. Crazy is all alone. The Void Rush coming in can actually kill Bless, and Pino will be the first one to go down, but Kog'Maw gets caught out. That's going to be 1. There goes Bless, and now they're getting on to 10th. The stun is going to miss. That's going to be a 3rd member of BBQ that does go down.
SKT's team fighting capabilities still do not disappoint. They never got to the chance to team fight in game 1, but this time between Wolf and Untara, they find the equalizer to get everybody killed. I don't think Faker will go deeper onto this one. He doesn't have just enough damage to go for that crazy of a tower dive, but overall the clumping from BBQ was their undoing, and even more than that was the dragon resetting, I believe 3 times before that fight happened. So they were able to find a lot of damage onto Bang before the fight happened. They even got his QSS out, but the wealth of resets in terms of HP was too much, and here's where they clump up, and you can see Wolf, it's like, oh, how juicy of an engage. With a great equalizer, sure, they flash out right away, but after flashing the fight, they already commit to it, and Peanut being so greedy all the time here. That kind of playstyle might be their undoing come later stages in the game, because remember that these compositions will melt tanks in a heartbeat. There will no longer be tanks when we hit a late game situation, but fights on mid.
Okay, he's getting equalizer. Everything is burned onto Tempt, and they find another pick. Finally, SKT having some success in this series, able to take multiple team fights in a row. Now they're looking for more. They're not turning on to Baron just yet. They're taking out the buffs, looking for Totoro. They can't secure any more kills. We'll see where they go from here.
It would be unwise to go for the Baron right now. They don't have any pressure onto the map, but they have scouted Bless, and Lonely Spider, caught in the closet, ends up getting squashed.
1v4, not much he can do in that situation.
Now you Baron.
Yeah, you got the jungler, 40 seconds on him. Tempt is going to be scary, but he won't have his unleashed power, and they're going to clear out the vision first. You can see that Faker is not actually grouped with the team right now. They're just doing 4 members as Faker hangs out mid. Taking a little vacation, perhaps. Finally, now he's going to come on in, and the Taric ultimate will be blown, that Cosmic Radiance. They will be able to turn down Wolf here, it looks like, just barely, or perhaps not. He does get away. Baron is going to get onto him, but Faker getting stunned. Looks like, oh, the Unleashed Power not able to come out here. But that Shock Blast going wide. Wow, that was close. Faker still alive somehow, some way. Looking for those Bio-Arcane Barrages, trading back some lifesteal. Ghost now in the front, another Shock Blast going to hit the front line. Lots of action, but it doesn't look like BBQ can pick up a kill.
Yeah, they get a Baron for completely free, and it all started with Tempt getting caught out in the mid lane, and for some strange reason, Bless looking for a pick into the top side of the map by himself. These compositions don't work without their carries. You gotta stay grouped, especially if you're a full tank Elise. You have to be with your allies, and being by yourself ends up costing a Baron for the team. And when the engage happens, sure, there isn't an equalizer to turn, but they don't have enough room to go for this. Faker being on the flank might not be necessary for the initial attempt onto the Baron, but him being there pressures the BBQ members to be on the left side of the map, and by them being pressured in that side, they're already a little bit too far to continue on this chase and take out any members from SKT. And so desperately do they try to get something more out of this, as you see Totoro trying to flash to get a stun onto Wolf, but to no avail.
Tempt had his Unleashed Power too. I think it was probably on cooldown for about 1 more second when they stunned up Faker. And then when he flashed away, he was out of range, but kind of unfortunate that he couldn't find a kill with that pretty low cooldown ultimate at this point in the game for the Syndra. No follow-up for him. So now they're going up against the Baroned up SKT, who is now in the lead on gold. About 2,000 ahead. Looking to take down another turret in the top lane. Down goes the tier 2.
There's enough wave clear on BBQ so that they should not lose any inhibitor turrets with this Baron push. Most likely we'll see SKT grow their gold lead, get a Dragon, the Infernal, as a retreat after taking down the mid-tier 2 and bottom tier 2 with Faker rotating in. So it looks like SKT have set their minds on what they want to do in this upcoming 3 minutes of Baron.
Yeah, everybody hanging around the bottom side. And Tristana beginning to get a little bit scary. Already up to 3.5 items. Do have the 3 attack items and the QSS already finished up. Unfortunately, no kills were fed over to Bang, who is sitting at 0-1 and 4. Still a pretty scary Tristana as we pass the 30-minute mark in this one.
Trist is scary because of her damage in the team fight and because she's always going to be grouped with the team. But Faker is arguably scarier because he's a split pusher. He's going 1-3-1, or rather 1-4 with what SKT is currently doing, and there's no answer for him. Syndra at this stage can't 1v1 Faker. Nobody can really stand up to him. Crazy would likely die if he takes on Faker right now because of the kiting and the Phantom Dancer. So there's not much hope for 1v1ing Faker, so they have to just respect whatever he wants to take in. They will just walk away with the Infernal as the Baron wears off, but a gold lead of 4,000 has now been built up on SKT's pockets after that play, and series of unfortunate events for BBQ.
Yeah, SKT finally finding some success, and I'm not even sure if you can feel all too happy as an SKT fan. Like, yeah, here at 30 minutes, finally they've taken the lead against the 9th place BBQ in game number 2 after they got squashed in game 1. Now, it would be nice for them to win the series, give a little bit more hope than had they gotten, 0-2'd by BBQ, but still not the best feeling in the world for SKT fans in general.
What you can be happy about for SKT's decision, if you hold them to the standard that so many of us hold them to, barring their position in the global scene of League of Legends, is the plays that they made around the bottom side of the map early. Grouping up together, looking for plays constantly as a unit, trading top side of the map for bottom. That's what was good about SKT this time around, where you can say, yes, this was something that proactively they sought out themselves, they responded well, and they looked for these opportunities. Everything else has come in part to BBQ's actions.
We got a bit of a lull in this one, as you were correct, none of the inhibitor turrets were taking out, so BBQ just sitting back, saying, okay, we have to basically concede the mid game here as SKT is too far ahead and can't exactly fight them at this point, so we'll just turtle up a bit, push out our waves, perhaps make a move at the next objective. We got 2 minutes until the next Baron comes up.
This is an objective that BBQ will not be able to give up without it having serious repercussions onto their base, as now that the inner ring of towers has fallen, Baker will be knocking onto base turrets, inhibitor turrets, and those you do not get back. So it's important that BBQ set themselves up for enough vision, for enough paths to get into the blue side of their jungle, and don't allow SKT to just rush this down, because with 2 AD carries and a rumble with a Leandries, this Baron will melt. So SKT have enough damage in them that they can rush it if BBQ don't respond, and so it's going to be all about vision for which team can surprise the other in their positioning around Baron.
See Totoro getting to work over here, trying to clear out as much vision as possible. Obviously can't get too close to that Baron, and now even going up 1v2 is forced to flash away from that one. So losing his flash just to get down 1 ward and to clear out 1. Not the best trade in the world.
You defend the wards like a mama bear. Your cubs are your wards. You cannot let them. If you sniff just as much as one person looking at him, you're going to send them for the hills.
It was cool to see Bless hanging around in that one bush to the right side of the mid inhibitor turret, just waiting for someone to get that deep ward down. It's a very common bush where people get cornered all the time, or they get caught rather, looking for those very deep wards. Happens most of the time on the red side, though, when the blue side team is trying to go for Baron. They're trying to get the deepest vision possible.
Ooh, SKT's going to go for a 2-man, so they're splitting themselves up in the hopes that BBQ will split up as well. And because BBQ doesn't have hard engage, they cannot punish onto this one, so this is a great move by them, understanding the resource management that is available to them and Now they get to not lose up any pressure on the map and gain a Baron.
Easy peasy. 2 guys. You got Faker fed up there on 3.5 items. Is going to pick up that Maw for his 4th after taking down the Baron. And there was really no opportunity for BBQ to come back in this one after getting shut down on a couple of those plays and losing the Baron. They've just essentially had to play super defensive and take it for a while. Just accept their fate. We'll see how they can do against this push that SKT will come in with.
They just didn't want to risk going into the blue side and trying to clear out some vision. They know what happened with Wolf when he engaged, when the equalizer came out, and worst of all, if you don't have enough vision, you can be surprised from multiple angles, and this is not a composition that reacts well to that. Not a single member here, I guess if you count Elise's Repel, has windows of opportunity to get over walls relatively easily, so they give it up, and they're gonna go to Crazy.
Okay, Crazy, he's caught out here, looking for a 1v1 against Untara. The heal comes out, but he still will meet his maker. Now Tempt getting in, and the Cosmic Radiance coming out. That's not gonna work.
It's all falling apart now. Faker will be shooting for that inhibitor turret to the bottom side. With Bang in the mid lane, this surely will be 2 inhibitors for SKT, and if any more members get caught out, they will be pushing for a win.
They might even do it here. I mean, they still have that Baron for 2 minutes. They can attempt a slow push 5v4 against these Nexus turrets. It doesn't look like they're gonna go for it. Gonna play the safe way, and generally that is the correct way, the most winning way at the end of it all. Just gonna go for that 3rd inhibitor turret, as they do have the wave pushing in. Faker is not gonna get caught out. He has been the big bait in many other series, and he pulls BBQ down towards the bottom side. That will be the 3rd inhibitor going down. Will SKT go for the push while they have Baron? They still got 1:30. Doesn't look like it. Now, got the Elder Drake on the map, so they'll say, hey, are you going to defend your base from double super minions in every lane while you defend the Elder Drake? I don't think so.
They just want to end the game here with a flank. Look at Wolf.
Yeah, coming around the back. They are going to find Crazy on the left side. Trying to jump in, but okay. You're fighting more members than you think, Crazy. That was a bit crazy as he does get taken out. So once again, 4v5. Missing Crazy will be a free Elder Drake going to SKT.
He flashed in, didn't he? He flashed to hammer Faker.
I think so, yeah.
Well,
it happens, you know?
Yeah, I guess he's trying to one-up them for the gracious donation of Faker and Untara, and then Peanut on the top side of the map earlier this game. And you would have thought that that would have been enough to propel BBQ to a victory in this game, but their composition does rely on getting significantly far ahead early and then just closing out because they don't have hard engage. That's why the Gragas would have been a choice that likely would have been better than an Elise in this time around. I think that she's kind of fallen off the meta because of how much more experienced these teams have become at dealing with. Oh,
what?
Yeah, he wants it. He takes it.
Bless had his smite. He's like, no, I gotta save that to save my base, which does make sense, but kind of funny how an Alistar with basically no damage is able to take that away from Bless. The poking from Bang is getting out of control now. They're chunking that very tanky Elise down to about 2/3 health with just 1 crit to the face. Here we go, the push coming on in, and oh boy, that's going to be 1 Nexus turret. They're going to be looking for another one. Bang with that red buff is just poking away on the Tristana, having hit level 18. Faker helping out. There's the flash. That one last engage. Bless just disappears. The Cosmic Radiance does not affect him in that fight, and so down will go Bless. Tempt is a little bit too low, and they are going to try to fight back here as low members, but it doesn't matter. The Nexus getting extremely low. Ghost trying to go and mad mode it, but it's not going to happen. 1-1 as SKT take a shaky game too.
And they even up the score, but much